afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Mystics Outlook. Tough loss for the Mystics today. They took on the Sparks. They had a late rally. Got several good looks late. Just couldn't capitalize on any of them. Um, the Sparks would end up holding on for a 79-76 win. Um, let's start with the Sparks, though, in terms of who led them. Put that up there for you all. Brittany Sykes had a huge game. The monster game. We talk about the perimeter defense of the Mystics and the three tough defenders they have. Sykes on the evening had 21 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. But what stood out the most was the ease at which she was getting to the rim. She was attacking off the bounce. She had no issue getting to where she wanted to go whenever she wanted to. You mix in that outstanding athleticism she has, the burst she has, is real. Whether off the bounce, catching, coming off screens, what have you. She was just a handful from the Washington guards to deal with. Truly a handful. She didn't shoot the ball as well as she would have liked, 8 of 17. But again, she got to where she needed to get. The Sparks did a great job of getting to the line. I felt like Washington came out, they weren't as locked in as needed to be on the defense end of the floor in the first half. And the Sparks took advantage of it. They had two uber quick guards. You got Jordan Canada. You have Brittany Sykes. The two of them, just between the two of them, they went to the line 15 times. So 15 of the 26 attempts from the line came from their Sparks backcourt. Those two just did a great job getting to the basket, drawing fouls, putting pressure on the Washington defense. If you combine their production today, it's 32 points and 15 assists, just 3 turnovers. That's the other thing I thought the Sparks did pretty well was they took care of the ball. For much of the first half, they had only turned the ball over once. We know the Mystics like to, when things are going well, turn defense to offense, and the Spurs did a great job of not allowing them to do so. By not allowing them to do so, they're able to kind of get back, be set on defense, and make Washington really work for it. As far as Washington went, they did get good production out of Shakira Austin. The game she had against the Sky was kind of her. Maisha had a solid game. Two of the only two have a good game against the Sky, and the rookie carried that on tonight. She finished with 16 points, 10 rebounds. I thought it was another great performance that she stacked after her prior good performance. She was definitely needed tonight, especially hitting the offensive glass. 4 over 10 rebounds came on offensive boards, and then Aisha Hans-Allen came off the bench and led the team. She tied for the lead in scoring with 20 points. She shot the ball well. She was a 6 of 11 from the field. One of the things Cardell Ray talked about with her, just taking care of the ball. She only turned the ball over once. She had 6 rebounds, 2 on the offensive end. Got to the free throw line. Knocked down 2 over 3 attempts from deep. It was a big game for her in her 20 minutes. For 20 minutes, she had 20 points. Ariel Atkins was kind of the lone Mystic to get it going in the first half offensively. She ended the game with 20 points. Didn't shoot it as well as she would have liked, but she was able to get to the line. Both teams got to the line quite a bit in this game. But it just felt like late it was the Sparks. Elena had a rough game, had a rough outing. She shot 2 for 12. And late in the game, obviously she's going to go to the big money player. Late, she might have had 3 or 4 attempts that, typically on a regular night, she knocks those down. As well as a regular night. She struggled a bit from the floor. I thought the Sparks did a good job carrying with the physicality with the Mystics. And I think Shakira and Maisha matched it well. Ariel did early. But I think it got to Atlanta a little bit late. I think one of the things we talked about earlier this year was just their composure at times. They definitely need to do a better job of keeping their composure. It was a winnable game despite their slow start. And they just didn't handle some of those tough minutes late. It was an interesting whistle all game long. For those of you that may have not watched, Elena missed a shot late. Olivia Nelson, the daughter, got the rebound. Obviously, foul games being played. She's fouled to go to the line. She hit both. And this is out of times out. are out of timeouts. Natasha Cloud gets the board, gets the inbound, races up court, puts up a three-point attempt. Looks like she's fouled. The officials would hear nothing of it. Immediately, all three of them were on the same page with that. Um, you know, waved it off, ended the game, and walked off the court. I don't know who got off the court quicker, either the officials or the Spurs. Regardless of what you thought about the ending, it was a situation that this didn't need to be in to begin with. A lot of that came with just not taking care of the ball. It caught up to me. It simply just caught up to me. They did a good job on the boards, out rebounding. LA 40 to 29 on the boards. The offense got a little stagnant again at times. We had some moments on defense, depending on who's on the floor, where the Spartans did a good job, either on backdoor cuts or folks not seeing their man and the ball at the same time, and the Sparks made them pay. Again, the Sparks didn't shoot the ball well either. Neither team really did. Still, the Sparks were able to. They were the more composed team, and I think that went a long way in the final score. In terms of player of the game, for me, it's clearly Brittany Sykes. I don't think anybody else can be up for that in this one. I mean, first, time and time again, even late when the game was kind of waffling. I think they were up one. She blew by her defender, got to the cup, finished with the right hand. And just like that, we're back up three. It's giving her some rhythm. In terms of X Factor, I think I'm giving that to Maisha Hans. That 20 points off the bench was huge. At a night when they were struggling a bit offensively, they needed every bit of it. And it was during the stretch where, I'm interested to see what Coach says in post game. Because I think one of the lineups that worked best tonight was when I think the big pairing was Maisha and Shakira. I don't think LA really had an answer for them together at times. But again, I'm not going to knock anybody. You have an idea on your team. At the end of the game, you're going to play through it. Josh is in for it is what it is. But they lost the team tonight because the Storm lost. They're tied with the Storm in the standings. Winning tonight that helped them get a leg up on the Storm, knowing that the Storm had the tiebreaker on them. But now, those last two games against the Fever are even more important. Now, check on the Storm play in their last two games, but it's going to be vital to see who ends up. I think both teams are going to end up in that 4-5 matchup. It doesn't matter who's going to have home court. Only time will tell, but they got the Fever twice. Once on the road, and then the second one at home to close out the regular season on Sunday the 14th. You guys have a great one. We'll check in with you guys later, but definitely tough loss to the Mystics. Wild ending. Again, something that truly believe is completely avoidable.